Turkey today. I'd like to introduce Serdar Urçar, who is the CEO of a company called Comodif, which is, I guess, a portfolio company, but Serdar will explain it, of a business that one of my friends, Ahu Serter, an entrepreneur in Turkey, is involved with. Serdar Urçar runs a very successful business and is here giving the perspective from his industry, his part of the world, on fleet management. Thank you very much for joining us, Serdar. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks for the introduction and thanks for the opportunity to be part of the event. Good afternoon from Istanbul. So maybe a couple of words about me. I'm in the also tech industry like David, almost 25 years. I'm also quite involved in the startup ecosystem as an angel investor and a mentor, especially focusing on B2B software as a service companies. So when you look at Comodif, Comodif is a relatively younger member of the industry. We are a connected mobility technology company. When we look at the revenue and profit pools of the industry, and when we look at research reports, we see a potential change in the revenue and profit distribution of the industry. New sub-segments like connectivity services, mobility as a services will increase their weights big time. And we as Comodif would like to be one of the enablers of that new trends going forward. So if we can move to the next slide, I want to talk a bit about our product, the platform. We have a connected mobility dedicated IoT platform as Comodif. And when you look at the platform, maybe a couple of words about the features that we provide. The platform is totally, device agnostic. Any kind of TCU device can work with our platform. It is really optimized to handle big volumes of streaming telematics data. It's highly scalable and supports both structured and unstructured data. It's already integrated with some third-party solutions like, different kind of map providers and notification solutions. And as a final word, it provides a robust end-to-end secure platform, which starts with the device in the car or in different type of vehicles or in micro-mobility solutions and goes to the back-end systems of our customers. If you look at our business model in the front, you would see that we are working for different use cases in that respect, the new use cases in the industry. So one of them is the smart car management for individuals. One of them is the topic of today, fleet management for mid-sized companies and enterprise companies. One of them is usage-based insurance pricing for insurance companies. The other one is predictive maintenance, especially for car manufacturers or workshops and dealers and chains. And the last one that we see is the car sharing solutions for individuals and businesses. Since the topic is focused on fleet management in this event, we as Comodif, we wanted to share two cases that we worked on in Turkey and wanted to share practical learnings and insights with the attendees. I hope they'll be useful. If we can move to the next slide, the first case that I will talk about is the fleet management solution we kind of co-developed with Turkcell, the leading telco provider in Turkey. If you look at them, we already developed a smart car management solution for individuals with them. Looking at the traction of this solution and looking at the demand in the marketplace, and due to some business requirements I'll explain later, they also wanted to go into fleet management solution services for their customers. The solution has been launched 8 months ago. It gained good traction. But of course, if you look at the market, existing players, strong players, there's still a good way to go. So what are the learnings and insights? So first of all, when we look at telcos, either they can be a channel for the existing players in the fleet management industry, and they work for a certain revenue share, or they can come up with their own solutions and they can increase their revenue share with a strong percentage, or they can increase revenue share big time. And if you look at today's cloud technologies, new software development technologies, compared to the past, it's relatively easy to come up with their own solution and launch it. And it has a quicker turnaround time compared to the past. So that's one thing. The other thing that we see is the telco billing structure, monthly billing cycles, is very much suitable for any kind of subscription services, including FMS, software as a service offerings. These are the positive things. On the downside, on the weakness, what we see is the following. If you look at telco sales force and the dealer network sales force, they are very much skilled in selling voice and data offerings. But when it comes to selling value-added service offerings like fleet management solutions, their skill set should be, changed, or they should be trained to sell such solutions, and that takes time for them and for their dealers. And last but not least, one other thing we see in the telco case is that telcos are very much interested in cross-selling third-party solutions to their fleet management customers due to the fact that they have the ongoing relationship and the digital data attached to that relationship. Examples of these third-party services could be things like, gasoline, like coffee, wallet services, insurance. They can agree with different third-party companies, and they can agree on a revenue sharing scheme, and they can sell this as additional services to their customers. So that's pretty much the telco case. If we can move to the next slide. And the other thing, the other project that we would like to touch base with and share the learnings and insights is the project that we did with Tofaş. Tofaş is the Turkish arm of Fiat. They are the biggest car manufacturer in Turkey. They have the biggest market share. Again, like in the Turkcell case, first we developed a smart car management application for individuals. It gained good traction. And then also based on the demand and the requests coming from their enterprise and SMB customers, Tofaş also wanted to go into fleet management. The solution is ready. It was scheduled to be launched in spring, but as we all know, as we have all faced, due to the COVID case, it has been postponed, and probably it will be launching within June timeframe. So if I move on to the learnings and insights that we see in the OEM case, it's as follows. First, car manufacturers, maybe it's a Turkish case, I don't know. I mean, I'm also curious to learn from the European colleagues. But car manufacturers, if they can, they want to own the fleet management solution for their own fleets. They don't want to lose the relationship of the customer and customer data. They would like to generate after-sales revenue based on remote diagnostic data coming from the fleet. Examples could be replacing the battery on time or arranging tow services when it's needed. Their fleet customers, when we talk with Tofaş, that's what we see, also want a better experience, especially when it comes to features like management reporting of the fleet management system. They want their fleet managers, they have a complex job. There are many, accumulated demands on their shoulders. So they want their fleet managers to have a simpler job, or at least have better tools in front of them to manage the fleet. And last, again, but not least, like in the telco case, car manufacturers also having an eye on cross-selling some other services based on the fact that they will have this continuous relationship and the streaming digital data about the behavior of their customers and the people who are working for their customers. Same thing like Turkcell. It could be things like insurance. It could be things like, agreements with gasoline chains and so on and so forth. So I know we have limited time. I wanted to be as brief as possible, but again, to wrap up, Comodif is a connected mobility technology company. We enable different use cases. Fleet management is obviously one of them. There are existing players and new cloud-based solutions in the marketplace. And we will continue to work with different kinds of fleet management solutions, and we would like to be the engine behind them. So that's it from my side. If there are any questions, I would be very happy to answer them in the Q&A session. So thanks for listening to me.